Hi, we are Group 4 presenting for the case study presentation. In the case study, we are required to study, decide, and present on the possibility of deploying DHCP for dynamic IP configuration in the corporate network. This topology diagram shows a use case scenario of a corporate wide area network, of which most discussion will be based on. Let's first understand how DHCP works. DHCP is a TCP/IP layer 4 protocol that issues IP addresses to or resolves IP address invalidity of client devices requesting via broadcast transmission, with segments traversing the network with UDP through port 68 for clients and port 67 for servers. In the initial client connection, or init, the client initiates the discover, offer, request, and acknowledge cycle to get an IP address. In the event of its absence or invalidity, the client broadcasts a DHCP discover message to indicate need of IP address. The DHCP server then receives the message and replies with a DHCP offer with an IP address and lease time or LT from the pool. The client then responds with a DHCP request message with said IP address to indicate acceptance. Finally, the DHCP server shall OK the client with the DHCP act as the reply. DHCP is typically deployed due to the advantage that it automates client addressing and mitigate connectivity issues with minimal intervention. Its dynamic nature of assigning and recycling addresses can allow planning to accommodate client mobility, for example, in a college campus setting. On the downside, DHCP makes it difficult to trace network activity due to dynamicity of changes in machine IP and raises the requirement to tighten network security in order to ward off threats, internal and external. Next, I'll pass to Azim. Thank you.
So I will talk about the deployment alternative. So in method 1 is the router-based DHCP. It is a network element that provides type of server-like service without the need to install and deploy a full-blown server. So for example, it can troubleshoot the network issue such as check VLANs, switch port, cabling, and configuration. For example, it will set a static IP on the client and test by pinging the DHCP server. If the client can't ping the DHCP server, it will troubleshoot the network more. So for the dedicated DHCP server, it will allow us to monitor the network easily, no matter what version of the IP is used. So it also offers a higher callability and redundancy. That means that the client can protect the current IP address without interrupting the end nodes in the case of the server crash. So that means that it can get access to customers login and management interface with DHCP that allows network to administer to manage the IP addresses easily. So I will pass to the Abuela.
Hi, I'm going to talk about ISP-based DHCP. ISP-based DHCP is registered with RIR. It communicates to the network indicating it is looking for an IP address. It can also easily assign IPs selected by ISP modem MAC addresses. Now, I'm going to talk about the selected deployment approach. I will discuss the specifications and justification. We have a proposed deployment plan. The DHCP at front branch office. The branch router acts as the DHCP server and provides the pool of addresses for guests and staffs. The DHCP headquarters has multiple VLANs. It has a dedicated DHCP server. It also provides the pool of addresses per VLAN. The servers hosting web or other services provided by the company have static configuration outside of reserved IPs. Thank you.
Now I will talk about the requirement based on scale. Actually, there are two kinds of this DHCP server can be used in two ways. First one is the small number of devices. So router can be used as the standalone DHCP server, and in the dynamic number of connected devices, dedicated server is to be used with the DHCP enabled. For the devices connected with required static addresses, pre-configured with a static IP address outside of dedicated host IP addresses range for a particular subnet to risk flooding network with ARP and IPMP requests for transmission generated from inherent traffic due to dynamically changing IP. Now there